All right, welcome back, everyone. So, going to be looking at round two of the tournament that we had for January. Uh, I wanted to go over this one because it's a very close game with a lot of, I think, interesting decisions. So I didn't have one last week, just because I didn't have time to make this as detailed as I wanted to make it. It's been a while since I've watched it, but that helps me reevaluate the plays I'm going to make, hopefully, and hopefully we can get some good comments and watch this pretty good game in my opinion. So we're on Hellas, and your choices are Thorgate and Mining Guild. Mining Guild is much better on Hellas than on any of the other maps, so I think it is A, if not S tier on Hellas, and so I think you should definitely pick Mining Guild if you can in most of these situations. Um, Preludes are not great; they're kind of awful. I think the Preludes being awful are is a very big setback to me here. Huge Asteroid is fine, I guess, though it's not really what you want to be doing for a mining guild start necessarily. But like Lone, Biosphere, Ecology Experts, like all kind of meh cards here. Ecology Experts could be okay if there's like trees, which there is, but you have to look at this hand, right? I have Acquired Company, I've got Vesta, I've got Mars U, so you can't be upset about that. And so those are three great production cards I could use. Alternatively, I could go for like Soletta, Eco Experts like trees, but I don't think that works very well on Hellas. I also don't think that Ecology Experts trees works that well on Hellas either. Like it's okay, it's not like bad per se, but I think when you're a mining guild, you want to get the production on Hellas here, and so I think you're supposed to take loan of these preludes and not bother with ecology experts trees. So I'm getting loan. I think it's a no-brainer. You take the three cards here for acquired Vesta and Mars U. And then here's where it gets interesting. I think you're supposed to take sabotage just because it's a two-player game and hitting your opponent's cash is valuable. I also think you're supposed to take Black Polar Dust here. Why do I think Black Polar Dust is good? Well, I'm mining guild, so I get to go ahead and increase my production, so that's fine. But also, I'm using Huge Asteroid to get up to 1 heat prod, so Black Polar Dust gets me up to 4 heat prod, and 4 heat prod is a nice continual amount of game control I can have. Trees, I think, is okay to speculate on with Huge Asteroid, assuming you can afford it. And SF Memorial's also interesting because you're Mining Guild, and with Mining Guild, you have ways to dump your steel. The rest of these I don't think are quite good enough. Yeah, and it looks like my past self agrees with my current self. So my opponent has to sit here and think about what he wants to do. That's fair, but I don't trust myself to fast forward in time to get to where he makes his decision. So we're just gonna sit here and listen to me try and fill up the dead air. So why is Mining Guild better? Yeah, I put in there. That was an option. So why is Mining Guild better on this map? It's because of the middle there. So take a look here. I'll let it play. So you can see there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like steel things all together in the middle near ocean rebates and good greeneries. So it's quite nice. He didn't have great preludes either, self-sufficient and Galilean, and he's Phobolog. So right here, when you see this, this is telling you you're either in for a great game or a terrible game. What I suspect upon seeing this setup is he probably has IO and he's going to sell one card and play IO. That's what I assume looking at Phobolog. If that's the case, then that kind of sucks. He's in a pretty good position. If he doesn't, then I think I'm in a pretty good position. And he sells one card and plays IO, and I'm like, well, yeah, it sucks. It's an uphill battle now for me, but I go ahead and do Black Polar Dust on the Titanium, which lets me play Acquired Company and Vesta, which is nice. I don't know what he's thinking about. He's clearly done. It would have been great if I could have played Sabotage on him being first player before he could do that. With this hand, I think you take Grass. The other cards don't really do anything. Hackers is funny, but not good enough. Especially as Mining Guild, you want every bit of power you can get. House Printing makes most sense over NRB and AAA. Hackers, I'm going to cut it over Zeppelins, because Zeppelins doesn't seem very good to me. So of this hand, I think you want Grass and House Printing, but you also can start debating if you want to buy cards from RSU or not. So I could see buying Hackers as a cycle from RSU here, but you can also skip it, because I don't think we're in a rush to play RSU. I think we're perfectly fine to just develop House Printing, SF Memorial, Sabotage. Those are all fine things to do. And I do hit his Titanium. I think Phobolog with that's playing an IO probably has use of their Titanium. So I'm just going to hit it because it's minus 12 cash for them versus minus 7 cash. So, if I'm wrong and he doesn't have any space things, then that was a bad sabotage. But I think it makes sense to hit a Phobolog's Titanium. And he just passes, and I choose to pass too. No point in playing card draw when I don't have quite as much money. AMC, you love to see. MedLab, you love to see. I would like Lunar Beam for power. I'd also like Rover Construction, because it could be that this is a game as Mining Guild that there's going to be a lot of cities on the board. But I'm just going to take that. Open City comes back, and that's definitely something you want to take. So Mining Guild, one of the things you really need to watch out for is, how do I spend my steel late in the game? That should be your question that you're asking yourself over and over. Because a lot of the steel cards are best played in the early game. So you need to find dumps for the late game, and Open City is one of the best dumps you can have. So you definitely want to take that there. And Rover Construction comes back, and I think you're supposed to buy all 4 here, because all those are pretty good cards. So he plays the Grange, so digging around for some cards to use with all this Titanium. He thinks for a long time. And he funds Space Baron. So that's an aggressive early fund, but I think it makes enough sense. He clearly looks like he's winning it. I think AMC here is a no-brainer. Just take some of his Titanium for myself, slow him down, fight on Rim Settler, and I go ahead and draw a card to see if I find something better. I don't. He plays Ganymede Colony, which is kind of crazy. That means he has Rim Settler taken care of, and he has 2 Jove Molts now, so that's a big deal. I play Mars U as Cycle Mining Expedition, and now I need to figure out if I want to play like Rover Construction or anything else, but I think you should wait and try and get the steel to spend on it. Alright, so you hate to see it because you really want to play the Lava Tube Settlement here as Mining Guild, but he just played 2 Jove Molts, right? I can't give him the 3rd Jove Molt. There's a chance Space Hotels comes back. There's also a chance he takes Space Hotels. And Psychophiles is still playable, so that's good for a microbe tag if we're trying to chase Diversifier. But you gotta take that and you're really upset about it. Noctis Farming, it's a building tag, it's a plant tag. I think it's a no-brainer to pick. Those shuttles is kind of sad to pass them. It should be too late to matter too much. And then he took Psychophiles. It means I can take either one of these. Gotta check his tags. He doesn't really have the Earth tags, so I think Lava Tube Settlement makes the most sense. And then, honestly, Solar Power isn't bad here. I don't have power for it, and I think it makes sense. I take the Wife. I do have 2 Joves already, so Wife is not like the worst card for me. Also, it could be a cycle from RSU if I want to go that route. So I'm really thinking about Rover Construction first, but I decided I'd like the Lava Tube Settlement more because I want to go ahead and start fighting on the board, and I decided I'm going to try and fight for Polar Explorer. I'm not sure that's correct because it is a little weaker of an area than going up to this section of the map with the 2 steals. That is a very good section of the map for Mining Guild. So by doing this, I'm somewhat hurting my own development, but I'm saying I'm going to fight you on this Polar Explorer milestone, which has value, I think. But I'm not sure it's correct. Also, it was a little expensive with the solar power and playing it before the rover construction value. Okay, and this sucks. Obviously, I'm very happy to see AI Central, but having to pass advanced alloys to get it is just painful. But I mean, I can't give him AI Central in this game state. So this is a really interesting draft. What do you want to take here? There's Asteroid and there's Predators. So Asteroid is looking pretty good in this position. I've got Titanium. He's Phobolog with Alloy Titanium. That means that this Asteroid gives him back 10 mega credits from playing it. So this is essentially 7 for a TR and -3 plants. So it's like ridiculous value for him. It's also pretty good for me. Heat bonus is at play here, so I would like to get a little more heat for temperature control. Also pushes me closer to grass and trees, so there's a lot of things I like about Asteroid. At the same time, Predators is very good on this map because Eccentric is an award, and as a result, there are more likely to be animals, and it means Predators could be a pain. However, it looks like Heat is going faster than plants, and given that if Predators is just in the very last gen, it's like 2 points at max, which is, 17 for 2 points isn't that crazy. The problem is if he gets to play it earlier than the last gen, then it starts to be a real point swing that matters. So I have to look at this and say, given how the game pace looks, do I think Predators look scarier than what Asteroid provides him with his advanced alloys value? And I think that ultimately Asteroid seems better at this position, though I'm not confident this is 100% correct. It is what I decided to go with. All right, Capital comes back. I think you should always take Capital in this position. It's just another good steel dump later on in the game. In his Mining Guild, I'm looking for those steel dumps. So now I need to make the decision, do I want Capital or not? I choose not to. I choose not to because I don't have any power. I already have AI Central and Open City as power needs. I decide that I don't think it's worth buying Capital and tying up my power. That may be right, it may not be, but it's close. So Diversifier is the fight right now, right? He has 7 tags, I have 7 tags. I want to get Diversifier, but I don't really have a way of doing so. This move. So if he has tempo on me, he can take it if he has it. He plays Subrez on the card looking for a card, but then he does Psychophiles. So he doesn't have it immediately. So I go ahead and raise temperature and play Noctis Farming. That gives me Diversifier, which is good, but tempo, he has another turn here that he can go for it. So he plays Advanced Alloys. Then he plays Ice Asteroid. So real quick, I want you to note what has happened here. He played the Ice Asteroid and got the cash rebates to get to 9 cash and 1 plant. Also, we're now at 4 oceans, which means that what card just turned online? Moss did. So that's something I'm considering in my head. Oh, that means he could have Moss, and if he has Moss, he could claim here. So now I need to think, and I look at his board, and I have to think, okay, so if he has Moss, he has the tag for Diversifier. I can claim Diversifier, but if I do, that costs me 8, which brings me down to 11, which means I can't play Medical Lab anymore. That would be a problem because I really want to play Medical Lab because it's really good production here. So this is where my asteroid comes in handy. I can play the asteroid and blow up his one plant, and now that I've done so, he can't play Moss anymore. That means that now I could play MedLab instead and develop with MedLab as opposed to having to claim my milestone before I want to. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I decide, I think he doesn't have it since I blew up it, so I'm going to do MedLab and develop with that. And now what do I cycle? I think you're supposed to cycle GHG factories, but I cycle rover construction because I'm thinking, well, I want to make sure I have the tag for AI Central, right? Which makes enough sense. Special design's cute. But rover construction could be really good in the mining guild game if a lot of cities come down. So I'm not sure about that play. I think it makes sense to keep the AI playable, but I think the rover construction was really good there, and I really kind of regretted having to get rid of it, even at the moment I did it. I think I should have just hoped to find better science tags. Okay, so this sucks. I don't want to give him methane from Titan. He already has 2 Jove molts. He has plenty of titanium. He wants to play that. However, I really want Tech Demo with Mars University. And also Dome Crater, if it comes back, is also amazing. So I think the pick here is you take Tech Demo, he probably takes Methane, I take Dome Crater, and it's not the worst exchange. Alright, Miranda Resort, it's a Jove, you can't let him have it. That's all it boils down to there. And being a Jove, it's not the worst thing for me for making the wife a little better if I end up playing that, which I might, right? So yeah, Dome Crater does come back. Archie even is a little playable, which is interesting. But I don't think it's quite good enough. Alright, so I have to kind of claim, first thing, because Diversifier. Which means I am going to be a little cash poor this round, which is not great. But I can go ahead and draw a card, see what I find. Bushes and towing, so that's pretty good. I think you cycle special design, I guess. I cycle Miranda? I don't know about that. Like, yeah, it's not great, but it is a Jove tag with wife. It's fine. Protected Valley, bushes, towing a comet, great pulls here, though. You're happy to see those. Alright, here's where my memory of the game's going to get a little foggy. Let's see what he ends up doing here. So Tactician's a fight. He plays the Immigrant City down there on the ocean, which gives him 4 cash back. That means he's looking to fight Polar Explorer. So that's a little interesting. It means he kind of wants oceans, but also that's also the most logical spot for a city. So is it necessarily that he wants oceans or not? I don't know. It could be, like I said, that's just the most logical spot to fight Polar Explorer. I don't really look like I can fight Polar Explorer here to me, and so I make this call of towing a comet looks like a great development play. The risk with playing towing a comet is that if he has kelp, which he might since he played the city there to indicate he wants the ocean, then I am turning on kelp for him. The positive side of towing a comet, though, is I'm getting 2 production from playing the towing a comet, plus I'm going to play it on steel to get myself another 2 production, so 4 production from playing this here. And then it opens up a 6 pocket for me to play Protected Valley as well, which also turns on Methane from Titan, which is not great. But ultimately, looking at this play, it's 7 production I just got from that series of plays, with nothing else I can really play in my hand. So do you give up 7 production on the chance he has kelp farming? He can't play methane, I believe. I think he's too poor. That's something that I checked, which I should recheck. Yeah. Uh, he does have kelp, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it was one of those calculated risks of 7 production I felt was better than him having the possibility of kelp. Turns out I was wrong on that. Viral Enhancers is insanely good when you have an AI in hand and also have Mars U. Noctis Farming would be a great play for myself, but you gotta take the Viral Enhancers here, especially since you passed him Predators. You don't want to give him more of a bio combo. Alright, this pack sucks. Alright, so what do I know? I know I need power. I need a lot of power. I need the Dome Crater power, I need the Open City power, I need the AI power, and I also need more power for things I'm going to find from AI. There's also a Colonizer training camp here, and that Colonizer training camp is at least 4 points for him right now. And it's Gen 7, so it's not even that out of the way to, for him to play that. So here I have to weigh, does the increase to my capabilities, my production, getting the AI, getting the Dome Crater, getting the Open City, worth giving him 4 points? The other thing to consider is that there's a Energizer award on this map as well. And if I give him this nuclear power, am I helping give him Energizer as well? It's half the way to the milestone. And so it's a really tough pick, but I end up picking Nuke Power. I think it's better. I take Extreme Cold Fungus just because I'm worried about Eccentric being too easy for him to fund, and he does take the Jove, which I'm not happy about, but I think it's correct. And then I take Extreme Cold Fungus as a cycle. I didn't feel like I had enough cycles. I also have the GHG Bacteria, so if I wanted to play that, I could raise heat each gen, though I don't think it's particularly useful here. Also, he looks like he could just take Polar Explorer, so I think the concerns over Energizer are not that relevant. So he plays Research Outpost. You hate to see him having a discount. He also puts it down there for Polar Explorer, but he is short 2 cash. You'd have to sell 2 cards to claim it here. So what should I do in this position? I just select to do Viral Enhancers, and I just cycle Extreme Cold Fungus, and I get card draw, which is nice. But I think now you play the power, and I look at my tags. You can see I have 3 science tags. I could play AI. Oh, and he takes my money. That's kind of rude. But yeah, it takes Polar Explorer. Fine. So here's a place you can think about. What should you do here? I could play AI Central. It is not a bad play. However, I could also play Dome Crater, and Dome Crater gets me a conversion here. So if I play Dome Crater, I get plus 3 mega credits from the MC prod. I get plus 2 mega credits from the Steel prod, and then I get a conversion, which is another plus 1 mega credit. So I actually get 6 production here if I play Dome Crater, or I could play AI and get 2 cards. I think they're close, but I think protecting the plants has enough upside that the Dome Crater play makes a lot of sense, and I can also convert for 4 cash back, take valuable real estate, and I think it's a good play. He does play the Methane, so it's a 4-point card. I'm not happy that he got to play it, but it is what it is. That was the risk of having to play that. It doesn't make sense to play Business Network here. I'm not planning on selling any cards with Mars U. Don't want to take the -1 income. I'm just going to play AI next gen. I don't raise the heat. I'm a little concerned about turning on Heather or something for him, and so I elect to just pass and wait in case he has Heather. Of these cards, I think you gotta take the Media Group. Obviously, Strip Mine is nice for taking the O2 bonus, but the power is so valuable, I can't really justify ever taking Strip Mine. And it doesn't seem that great for him. Of these cards, I think you gotta take Indentured since you just got Media Group. Though Magnetizer could be good if he finds like a Mass Converter or something. The other cards don't really matter, in my opinion. I think I just take one as a cycle for the AI Central. And so you can see I'm starting to do mining guild things. I have 7 steel production, so now I'm looking to fund contractor. I'm looking to spend my steel as much as I can. So since I have the steel, I go ahead and do that. I don't waste the indentured workers on that. You should always use steel on building tags and try and use your money and your discounts on cards that are not building tags. Underground City could be cute. Robo Workforce Solar Wind Power, incredible. You love to see those. I can copy that Nuke Power or the Med Lab, whichever I want, and really have a lot of nice production here. He plays the Research, which is scary. That means Anti-Grav might be on the prowl. The other benefit of having done the strip mine line is I do kill his colonizer training camp, which would have been really funny, but I think it's too much of a throw to do that when AI is in the wings. But wind power lets me draw a card. I'm going to say buy I think GHG here. Yeah, GHG isn't looking very good. Herbies is nice, but it depends on me getting plant prod and on the game pace, not being too bad for the predators munching on them. And at this point, I think more card draw is good. Even though it's Gen 8, it's not looking like it's a particularly fast game. Plays Callisto. That's another Jove. I get urbanized area. That's a great pickup. This is where that rover construction would have been nice, but I mean, I had to cycle something, and I chose that at the time. So I play urbanized area here. The logic behind the urbanized area is it is on steel. It is +2 mega credit, so it's 4 production for me, and it secures valuable space. But I don't think it's that good, and the reason I don't think it's that good is because I don't think he was planning on placing anything between those cities anytime soon anyway. He also has Immigrant City, so it's only +1. It's also +1 for him, so it's just a net of 3. And so given that, I just think there were more impactful plays I could have made than urbanized here, even though it is a slight increase in my production. Now I robo, and I have to decide, do I want power or do I want money? I choose the money. Here I think I cycle either special or underground city. And I think I can play bushes, so I don't want to cycle special. So I guess I cycle wife. Okay. So cycling wife is okay. I only have like 2 Joves, so it's only 3 points. So it's not crazy good. But I think maybe better to have cycled another card instead. But obviously building industries is kind of garbage. I already have more than enough steel. I don't need more. You gotta take fish, I think, with the pace of the game being like it is. He is coming up first, so I think you need the 1-point animal. But I do need to be careful because bears love fish. Decomposers, pretty good. I did just give him ants, so that is something to be worried about. But Decomposers is great for the bio combo. Also, Artificial Lake is super good as mining guild on this map, so I definitely want that. And birds can be very painful, but it looks like it's coming on last. So I think you take Deco just because of the risk, but he did take ants. So do I think he kept ants? I'm not sure, but I think the Deco is the better pick, and obviously Artificial Lake is just a nice pickup here. Good way to spin my steel for a point, and helps me control game pace a bit. So he plays restricted area, and that's why I kind of criticize my urbanized placement. I didn't have a way of converting between those, and so giving him just a target of places to block just doesn't seem to be very good. Like, there's already urbanized spots in the south. There could have been more as I play other cities, so I think this was just too quick, too much of chasing 3, cash production when net, compared to him, when it really didn't justify giving him a target. So that's unfortunate. I can play grass and get a conversion, but I decided to be a little greedy, and I'm very happy to find ICS. That's a good 4-point dump. And now I'm really looking at, can he fund anything, and should I fund something? And I think Contractor's looking pretty good at 14 to 4. I do play this. I do take the plant. I don't think the microbe is quite worth it here. I do know that he has ants. I'm just betting that I don't think he kept it. He did have heather, so I was right to have played around it in that previous generation. And I play Comet to blow up his heather plants. And that puts me in a decent position on getting the oxygen bonus. I take it, and I think, alright, does he have strip mine? Because he did get past strip mine, but is it something that he would keep and play? I'm not sure. So, but let's see. I think it's better to convert than risk it. He does play biomass combustors, so he has 2 power extra now, and hurts my plant, which is annoying. I go ahead and play grass and get that online. And that's really all I can do is just play grass, and let's see what he does. Yeah, he does play the strip mine. So, I don't know, honestly. That move is, I think, a little questionable, but he did have a biomass combustors, which is a really cheap way of getting the power, so it's probably okay. The worst thing about it, though, is that it speeds up where oxygen should be relative to where the heat and oceans were. And so Predators is now coming online sooner than I would like it to, and that is a problem. Since the heat went up, though, I can play Artificial Lake, get that, and can open with a conversion next round, which is nice. The one problem right now is that I don't really have any control of the heat track in terms of getting the bonus ocean, though, so I'm a little sad about that. And I elect to play the Herbies, saying, well, I'll go ahead and hurt his plant production. I'm getting a conversion anyway. And I'm going to play a fish, so if he has the Predators, I'm hoping to just make him choke on the animals. Adaptation technology versus Inventors Guild. I don't really want him to have more card draw. That's more chances for him to find Joves. I recognize there's a Jove here in the draft, but I don't think it's a particularly good one to play when heat is nearly maxed already. Adaption tech does help him with both predators and birds. Those are things I'm cognizant of, but I'm thinking that, it's 15 mega credits. That's a little expensive. Inventors Guild is also, extra mega credits, but the chance to find more Jove molts like TG is so dangerous, I don't want to let him have that. Gene Repair seems like a no-brainer with Mars U. It is points. I should take it. Definitely cut the beam. He did take the adaptation tech, so I am cognizant of, okay, that's a little dangerous. It does suggest he's looking at taking predators and birds earlier than I would like. So of these cards, I think you gotta take Gene Repair. I don't think Inventors Guild is necessarily bad, nor is it good, because I have card draw already from Business Network and AI, but you can always use more cards when you have 5 in hand in your mining guild with all this production. Molehole area is a little cute as well for teleporting around. Alright, so should you convert here or not? I'm of the opinion yes, you absolutely should. What I do recognize by converting is I am opening up the door for predators, right? I just gave him adaptation tech. It gets 9%. He can instantly play that and start eating with his preds. That's bad. However, the bonus ocean is 3 steps away. If he has Deimos and gets to get the bonus ocean and kill my plants, that's absolutely devastating. I think you just have to convert and just say, well, it is what it is. Magnate looking pretty good in this position, but I don't think I have to fund it immediately. I get Virus and Space Elevator, which is just great. You love to see it. And yeah, there's the Deimos down. So he gets the bonus ocean. I absolutely was right to convert there. It'd have been a disaster otherwise. He has 5 plants. So I'm just going to virus him immediately. And with all the steel, Space Elevator is a perfect card to play to use it. Heat Trappers is cute, but the minus point isn't worth it here. He has algae too, so that's good, but stopped him getting a conversion here with it. I have trees playable as well, but space elevators call on my name. Spend all the steel on it, save the titanium for other things. So he does play the ants. That's unfortunate. He did keep it, which means my decomposers will be hit by it. But, I mean, it's one of those things about he's paid 12 now for it. In Gen 10, I don't know how much it's really going to be worth. And now I'm also thinking, should I fund or not? And I think, all right, I'll fund Magnate. I think it's good enough. And I'm going to go ahead and cycle the Mohole area because it's not really doing much. I get imported GHG, also not doing very much. There's adaptation tech, which is like, uh-oh, here comes the predators. So I raise heat. I don't want to play the fish yet because I know the predators will start munching. I'd rather they eat the herbies than eat the fish. And I can play the GHG with Media Group in order to get some money back, which is close to enough to play fish, but I elect to, no, I'll just wait. I'd have to sell a card, and none of the cards are really worth selling in my hand at the moment, in my opinion. So Caretaker Contract could be a point. Mining Rights is Magnate Defense, Contractor Defense. Small Animals is cute, but I'm also not quite sure how good it is. I do have Viral Enhancers. He has Predators. I think looking on it in this position, I should take the Small Animals. I think that is the better pick. I think I take the Mining Rights, which is okay. I can take a point from him by putting it down there in the southwest, but I think Small Animals is better overall. Business Contacts, I think, is a no-brainer in this position with Media Group. Yeah, Trans Neptune Probe also draws me a card, but getting to see 4 cards and get 3 cash back is better than whatever Probe is doing, and it's not doing that much for him. Caretaker comes back. He took the Small Animals, so fair enough. Again, I think Small Animals was the better pick over Mining Rights. I think that was a bit of a throw on my part. And I don't think that Caretaker makes that much sense, but it's worth keeping as a cycle later on if the situation does arise that it makes sense. So he eats me again, fair enough. So now I need to think about, can the game end, and if the game ends, is it in my interest to let it end? So heat, I have one already. Deep well heating I just drew is another. I could even do night NRA to do another. I have a greenery already that gets us up to 11. And then can I get 3 more in order to end the game? That's tough to say. But if my opponent helps, maybe it could happen. So energy tapping is cute, but he doesn't have any energy, so not worth it again. I sell and go ahead and probably draw cards. Yep. Alright, so what do I find? I find Fusion Power and Tropical Resort. Tropical Resort's 2 points, so you gotta take that. Fusion Power is card draw, and more power to power my underground city, so I think that makes perfect sense as well. Plays Mining Area, which is okay. I go ahead and cycle the imported GHG. It's not that good. Radchem's very good. And here it's an interesting decision. Do I play the city and just say it's not ending? Or do I try and, hedge for the end? I elect to play the city. I'm not sure that's correct. I maybe should have waited a little longer to see if I could make it end on my own. But I also don't want to convert a greenery right now because I don't want to give him birds, right? I want him to SP the greenery for birds, and if he does, then that lets me maybe end ahead of him. So he's stalling, I'm stalling, we're both trying to estimate the other's strength because at this point we're both relatively close on points. I elect to raise heat and pass it back to him. You know, what you got? I'm not playing the greenery. I know you want me to because of birds. And he plays greenhouses. So, okay. That's unfortunate. So now he gets the birds down. And he takes a spot where I was thinking about doing my mining rights. So that's my fault for delaying there. So birds is down. I can go ahead and place my greenery. And now it's a question of, can I end and win? I can. It looks like I can end, but do I win? And I don't think I do. He has too much cash to go for a YOLO like that. He's got 44 cash, 7 cards. I'm not really convinced that I could SP the greeneries and the city and win. But let's see what he has in his hand here. Like in this situation, the TG is the biggest threat, right? If I can just continue grinding out, drawing cards, and using my steel production to score points, then I'm in good shape. But if he plays TG and I try and force the end, then I just lose on the spot. So that's like my big concern and fear here. NRA doesn't seem that good, honestly. ICS seems like it could be better. I go ahead and sell Deep Well Heating because I could play NRA as opposed to Deep Well. There's no reason to play that. Small Animals hits me, so it scores him 1 point, and it hits me for 1 plant prod. That's why I think that in retrospect, I should have just given him the mining rights. I don't think I should have given him Small Animals. I think that was a mistake on my part. But I was thinking about Magnate at the time, a green card versus a blue card, and so that's one of the things of having not played on Hellas as much as the other maps. It did end up biting me a little bit. I do sell the mining rights now, because it ain't that useful. And I don't think Inventor's Guild is worth playing either. I'm selling to see if I can end and win here. That's like what I'm pushing and testing on. He plays Advanced Ecosystems, which I'm glad I didn't give him the Decomposers now. But that still sucks that it's a 3-point bomb there. I decided to play the NRA. I am, close to being able to end the game into a win, but I need to be careful because if I SP Greenery here, he could SP Greenery and maybe have the win. So I don't want to throw the game on this spot here with an SP Greenery. So I like to do a Rad Chem instead, just get 2 production. He does have TG, so that sucks. And plays Lake Marineris as well. So, okay, that sucks. He had the card I did not want him to have. That means that he has a massive lead right now. It's up to me to see if in the endgame I can swing it with better point scoring. These cards don't matter. But Dev Center is a card draw. Security Fleet could be a point, though. And he doesn't have power, so based on that, I think I just take Security Fleet to rob him of that. Mineral Deposit, I do have enough steel targets. I think it's worthwhile, especially with the media group. That's the word. I take Power Plant because I don't think Quantum's playable for him. Well, Power Plant could be. I take Mineral Deposit, and that's it. So here's where I wanted to SP the greenery last round, but I couldn't because I was afraid of him having a way of ending the game. In this position, there's 2 TR left. My hand is kind of on the empty side, so I really want to score as many points as I can and deny him as many points as I can. The Small Animals is also costing me here because I'm only at 6 plants here. If I was at 7 plants here, I could SP Greenery and convert, and I'd take all the remaining TR. That'd be great. If I had had the chance to SP Greenery last round, I could play Open City and convert, and that also would have been great. But here, I don't have the tempo for those. If I want to get both TR, I have to SP 2 Greeneries, and that's really unfortunate. have to be in this position. I really don't want to use 46 of my money here to SP 2 greeneries, but it's also a big swing against him because he has the greenery already set up. So if I deny that, that's pretty good. And so ultimately I sit here and think for a while, but I decide, my hand's not strong enough. I have to just SP the greeneries and take the points where I can, even though it'd have been so nice if I could have just gotten it with open city instead. So again, small animals really biting me in this position here, and so I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes of the game for me. But yeah, I'm gonna take hit stuff, and I'm gonna take 4 cash back because I am tight on money right now. He draws and converts. Open city goes down. Go ahead and convert between there. So again, remember how I talked about how I didn't think the urbanized area was that good in retrospect? You can see here I have a great urbanized area set up right now. I could have played there to get more points than I got from when I currently played it. So, it's not like it was a horrible urbanized area. I just think it was premature at the time. I should have probably just waited till now to have played it and gotten more points. The Predators hits my fish. So that's 3 uses of Predators he's got now, which meant that my hope for how the game pace was going did not pay off because the adaptation tech really kind of hurt me there. The card draw ended up maybe not being as relevant as the adaptation tech, so maybe I should have just taken that as opposed to the card draw. But then again, avoiding TG was the big problem, right? As long as he doesn't have TG, I've got a chance to win. Yeah, not even a chance. I win if he doesn't have TG. If he does have TG, it's a lot harder to win. And so trying to deny any chance for him to find it was my goal there. But I draw. Imported hydrogen could be interesting with media group. Gotta do the math here on how this all works because I'm still 1 plant short from another greenery. And so I need to figure out how to make this work. So he only has 4 cards left himself. He doesn't have that much to do. He plays combo from Europa, just digging for more cards. I know the feeling. So here I go into tank for a while, and I'm trying to math out how can I get all this to work out. I really want to do a greenery or a city to get another round of points. I also really want to could get that with imported hydrogen as well, but if I play imported hydrogen, can I afford to do the city and ICS? And I can't really find a way to make all of them work. I feel like even if I put the city there and get the 3 cash back and the 2 cash back from Mining Guild, there's just no way to afford interstellar colony ship, imported hydrogen on the fish, and get the conversion. And if I do imported hydrogen on the fish, I can't get the last point from the city because I'm 1 plant short from the stupid small animals. And so given that, is there a better place for me to put it? And so it's a right mess, and I can't figure out how to make it work. And all ultimately boils down to that small animals pass. So I'm sit here for a long time, and I'm gonna try and spare us some time here. Skipping ahead. So I elect to do something else. He does SP City and plays a plantation right there to get 2 cash. At 23 cash now in his hand, so perfect. So look at my hand. I did elect to do the ICS play. And so now I can just end Caretaker to get a point because, hey, I had 8 heat. That's why I waited on Tropical Resort. Now I can Tropical Resort, and I have perfect money left at 25. I can SP a city. Since he played Plantation there, SP City gets me 1 plant, which I can then use for a conversion to make that a 3-point SP City, which is not so bad, all things considered. Better than imported hydrogen for 2 points. Sorry to skip ahead a little there, but you didn't want to see 10 minutes of me sitting down obsessing about how to try and make the math work and realizing I just can't quite do everything I want to do. So money ends up almost perfect. I spent all my steel. It's hard to be upset about that. Return did not spend any of his steel really from that strip mine. So I am a little critical on that strip mine being good, but it did make the Predators a little better, so who knows. And he plays the probe that I passed him with his remaining titanium. That was the last card in his hand. Remember, I took the business contacts and got fusion power and tropical resort, which while not bad, certainly would have been kind of useless for him, which maybe probe would have been better for me in that state. But we both get a greenery in the end. I get 2 points from mine. He gets 1 point from his. And then we go to the game end. And he wins by 1 point. So really unfortunate that it happened like that. It was a well-played game by all of us. Lots of tactical decisions and playing around with the milestones and awards, which I'll be honest, I am the first to admit I am not the greatest on the milestone and award game on Hellas. But I think the early Space Baron fun by him was really good. I think ultimately small animals ended up being the biggest mistake of the game for me. If I had not done the small animals, I think I would have had enough money to have won the game here, since it was just a 1 point difference. Alternatively, if I'd even done the mining rights to block his city, maybe that would have been enough to have won me the game. You know, when it's a 1 point game, every little decision matters. But yeah, ultimately you can see awards and milestones were split. Terraforming rating was similar. Greenery's the same. City's the same. Victory points, he had a little bit of an edge from the Jovians. I guess the only unlucky thing for me is that he found all 3 Jove molts, despite only having, restricted area partway through the game. I think if he hadn't found any of those Jove molts, it's a win for me, obviously. But I got AI, he got alloys. When it comes to Terraforming Mars, all games have a lot of luck in them, so it's hard to say, oh, you got so lucky, right? Because you also got lucky in various areas. So it's just one of those things you have to just realize where your mistakes were and how you could have improved. And so if I had to go down the list of things I could have improved on, one, the small animals, I think was game winning. I should not have passed that, especially for mining rights. I was too focused on Magnate and was not focused enough on just that's a good card for him. If I take small animals, I'm pretty sure I just win the game. Number 2, the urbanized area, I played it too early. I valued 3 MC prod over more points. If I'd waited and had just done it between the cities down here in the southwest, that is a good point swing, and I think that would also win me the game. And lastly, I think the rover construction also was pretty important. It ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 mega activations, so 14 mega credits. So it'd have been plus 6 from when I end a victory point, and instead I cycled it with Mars U. I think maybe another card should have been cycled earlier, and I should have held on to the rover construction because I think it would have paid off this game, and that extra point obviously could have mattered. But yeah, that's all I got to say for this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this pretty close game. Return ended up going on to getting second place in the tournament. He lost to Meister and Galeon. Not a co-pilot run. That's the word I was looking for. So, well played to him. No shame in losing to second place player. We were going to have another round of the tournament with Venus, which I'm also inexperienced in, but I played more Venus than most of the other people on the server. So I think I have decent chances there, except Asmodee decided to release a new set of content, which is really cool because it's the big box promotion stuff. So you have the really crazy stuff like Meat Industries and Topsoil Contract and a better Deimos and Molehole lake and like all sorts of crazy stuff. If you've not seen Meat Industries and Topsoil Contract with an eco and a deco, you haven't seen how degenerate this game gets. Especially if it's like a greens round with a GMO contract, and by playing EcoZone you make money, and it's like, what is this? Like, are you joking? You you had deco, GMO, and Meat Industries, and as a result, you got 7 cash back from just playing the card. Then you played it on next to 2 oceans and got 4 cash back. So you literally broke even with playing it. And if you have the GMO contract, you made like $3, and you're like, seriously, this is so degenerate. But yeah, it's fun to be degenerate sometimes, and so I'm looking forward to playing all that. Except Asmodee completely broke the game when they released the patch. So yeah, discounts don't work anymore. Earthcat is just 2 VP. Anti-Grav is just 3 VP. So the cards, it's not really playable when Terractor doesn't get the Earth discount, and Changxin doesn't get -2 from every building tag. So as a result, the tournament is on hold for the foreseeable future until Asmodee gets their act together and fixes the game. Uh, Hopefully some of you guys have some interesting games on BGA you can send me that I can use. The previous games I've played have not been interesting enough to showcase, so looking for more content for you guys. But hope you guys enjoyed this game, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.